Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and welcome back to some more Great League Spice. In today's video, we are taking a look at STARAPTOR in the Great League. And as some of you guys know, that for 5 days around April Fool's Day, Niantic did reduce the switch clock timer from 60 seconds to 30 seconds, which did change the meta quite a bit. So I did want to test out a Pokemon that runs double nuke moves, like STARAPTOR, which runs Close Combat and Brave Bird, both moves that do incredible damage but debuff your own defense, to see how it worked out. And to be honest, STARAPTOR itself performed pretty well. The meta that I was running it in was very hostile to flyers. The most commonly used Pokemon, I believe, was Alolan Ninetales. So I lost more than I won, but I did have quite a bit of fun. So let's hop in and check out STARAPTOR. Hopping into the first game, picking up a terrible lead, we're going to save swap into our STARAPTOR. As you can see, we do generate energy pretty quickly, and my opponent bails into a Skarmory. I'm going to be going for the back-to-back close combats, which combined are going to lower my defense by 4 stages, but after this next close combat, as you can see, my switch timer is actually up, so I can get off all this damage, switch back into Empoleon, and boom, I am no longer debuffed, so I'm in a really good spot. They're going to go straight for a Leaf Blade, of course, but one nice thing about Empoleon is I can counter with Drill Peck, which is going to hit them for super effective damage. Drill Peck connects and does a decent amount of damage, and I'm able to switch back into STARAPTOR. They switch into their own Skarmory, and on 1 HP, I'm able to get to a close combat. And this does get the shield, so STARAPTOR able to do a ton of damage to this Skarmory and get both shields. Let's go! Able to tank the Sky Attack on Empoleon, and we're actually going to be able to tank a second one as well. That doesn't kill us, and we are going to simultaneously faint. However, we have Altaria in the back with a shield, and they have a Mandibuzz, so we're in a really good spot to win this game. The one thing we have to watch for is my opponent catching a move onto Tropius. So long as they're not able to do that, we have a pretty easy path to victory here. As you can see, they did attempt to catch right when I hit the Dragon Pulse. Very nice attempt by the opponent. So what I did is I just chose not to throw my energy and wait for them to attempt to sack, because that was their only win condition. And now from here, Mandibuzz is quite tanky, so I'm going to be able to go for the Sky Attack, and then may as well go for the Dragon Pulse just to guarantee the kill. Would Sky Attack have killed? Yes, but hey, may as well have some fun, right? Alright, hopping into the next match, Empoleon into Azumarill. So long as they don't have Hydro Pump, this is a pretty good matchup for Empoleon. And they threw after 7, so this could be Hydro Pump. If it is, this is going to be a tough game, and it is. That's super unfortunate. You see the damage it does. They bail into Ferrothorn, and we're going to counter swap into Altaria. Altaria is a preferred counter swap here, because in case they have Thunder, which they have Mirror Shot, if they had Thunder, then that could hit STARAPTOR for super effective, whereas Altaria would resist a potential Thunder. Although it turns out they have Mirror Shot, so we are totally fine. And we haven't gotten a debuff yet, which is amazing. So we're going to be able to land the Sky Attack, and can we Dragon Breath all the way down here? I think that may be the play, because they're just going for Mirror Shots, and those aren't doing anything. And we can let this go. We can probably take even one more after this and still be fine. Going for the farm down. Ooh, we're going to have to take one more, but we can survive it, and we're going to leave with heaps of energy, which is going to be fantastic. Azumarill's probably coming back in, so we are going to have to go for the Sky Attack. And thanks to the Bubble nerf and Bubble being resisted, it is somewhat hard to farm us down, and we're able to get to a second Sky Attack. This is huge. This puts the Azumarill very low. We can safely bring back an Empoleon, and we have 2 Drill Pecks stored. This is huge, because if we're able to land both, it is going to take out Azumarill. So by throwing these back to back, we should be able to pressure a shield, and STARAPTOR with 2 shields does exceedingly well endgame. They throw, and at this point, I'm going to put my faith into STARAPTOR. Let it go, it's the player F. We come in with STARAPTOR, and they have a Sableye. This is pretty good for us. However, since we have 2 nuke moves, Close Combat and Brave Bird, we may have to pull off somewhat of a complicated play. So we're going to build all the way up, and we're actually going to go for a Close Combat bait. Close Combat is actually single resisted, so we're going to go for the bait to get the shield, and then we're going to need to try and land a Brave Bird, although my opponent's switch clock is almost up, so they do try and sack. Fortunately, I see it coming. I'm able to farm them down, and we're able to land the Brave Bird, which is going to be enough to take out the Sableye. So with running a Pokemon with 2 nuke moves, sometimes you have to make some kind of weird plays like baiting with a Close Combat, but we were able to make it work. Hopping to the next match here, Empoleon into Alolan Marowak. They safe swap Meganium, we go into our hard counter of Altaria, and my opponent concedes the match. My theory is they were just terrified of Staraptor. Empoleon into Melmetal. Melmetal is kind of a core breaker for this whole team. Definitely makes it tough. We shielded up expecting the superpower. Unfortunately, it's just a Rock Slide. We do build up to 1 after the Hydro Cannon and go straight for it. This is undoubtedly getting a shield. And I try and catch a superpower. Unfortunately, I'm unable to, and they're now going to start hitting me with Rock Slides. This is really not what you want to see, unfortunately. I do decide to shield this up because I have a decent amount of energy and I do want to pressure this Melmetal. I overfarm by a bit and I'm going for the Sky Attack. My goal is I want to try and catch a Rock Slide onto the Empoleon here. And unfortunately my opponent sees the switch coming and is able to fire off a superpower. You absolutely hate to see it. We come in with Altaria. They come in with a Toxicroak. So they must be pretty weak to flyers in the back because I have an energy lead. I'm able to get to the Sky Attack. It takes them out. Oh, they have a Talonflame. I switch into Staraptor. I'm not getting to a move, but I need them to throw the Brave Bird. I'm basically baiting them into Brave Birding, which they do. That lowers their defense. Melmetal comes out. We're able to farm it down. And then we are going to be able to get to the Dragon Pulse, which is going to be enough to take them out. So that was a complicated win condition to find, but I recognized if I came in with my Staraptor, forced into Brave Bird, they would be forced to switch out, and they were in farm down range, which would allow me to get the energy lead I needed on Altaria to get to the Dragon Pulse. Alright, hopping into the next match here, picking up a positive lead versus Mandibuzz. Although these foul plays for Mandibuzz do chunk for sure. And we are going to be going straight for the Hydro Cannon. This does a solid amount of damage, even though Mandibuzz is quite tanky. Oh my goodness. But we are able to catch onto Altaria. Catching in this particular 30-second meta was very important because it puts our switch timers off kilter. And now my new goal is, if possible, if I can catch a Moonblast onto my Empoleon, I should be in a pretty good spot. Unfortunately, this is CMP, so I am going to need to shield this up. And actually, I aggressively swap back into the Empoleon, and they actually bring in the Mandibuzz. So very interesting call there. Not one that I personally agree with. And at this point, I am going to let this go. That is going to take me out, but I can come in with the Altaria and get a big farm on this Mandibuzz, since we know Mandibuzz is not an attack-weighted Pokemon. Foul play, I mean, it chunks, but it doesn't do a ton. And we'll have to see what they have as a response. They do bring back in the Cresselia. So we're going to be going straight for the Sky Attack. Gets the shield. And at this point, do we put all of our faith into Staraptor? We do. And they bring out a Ferrothorn, and we're in a pretty good spot here. I'm going to shield this up in case it's a Thunder. They're running Mirror Shot. Okay, this is good for us. We want a lot of energy. Mirror Shot, we don't really have to worry about, to be 100% honest. It's the Power Whip, that's totally fine. And we are going to be going for the Close Combat. That does absolutely massive damage, and we're able to get to the Brave Bird versus the Cresselia. Brave Bird is going to be enough to take out the Cresselia. So with shields down and with an energy advantage, Staraptor absolutely melts. Alright, hopping into the next match here, and I don't know if you guys saw, but this match is against Lollersox, someone who is an exceedingly strong trainer and is routinely ranked in the top 25 in the world, so a very, very talented battler. I'm going to let this go because I know that I can survive a Hurricane and I can farm down. He is going to be bringing back in that Ninetales to farm down. Unfortunately, can't quite get to a move. I bring in Empoleon, Swampert, and I counter with Staraptor. I know that I can survive one Hydro Cannon before I debuff myself, so I'm recognizing that my win condition here is going to be to close combat, more than likely get a shield, force them to throw because they're not going to be able to Mudshot down even with the defense debuff, and then rely on Empoleon up a shield to close the match for me. I land the Hydro Cannon, and I come back in with Empoleon. Difficult decision here, but I decide to shield it because I'm thinking to myself that a Hydro Cannon from Swampert is going to do more than a Dazzling Gleam from the Alolan Ninetales. We're able to get the shield. Again, I'm like, you know what? Hydro Cannon's going to do the most, and I really need to farm down here. And we're able to farm down. Okay, we have a shot here. We have a shot. Okay. We do need to go for the Hydro Cannon. That does a nice amount of damage. Unfortunately, they are going to be able to get to the Dazzling Gleam, which does a ton of damage. We're very low, but we're able to get to the Hydro Cannon on almost no HP, and we are able to take out Lollersox. So GG's Lollersox. Our Spice was able to take the day. Hopping into the next match here, Empoleon into Ferrothorn. Another pretty rough lead. We are going to stay in here for a bit, and we're able to catch the Power Whip onto Altaria. Again, catching moves and storing moves and switching in and throwing them to get the switch timers off kilter. It was definitely the meta during this 30-second switch clock. This is definitely going to be an Ice Beam, so we are going to need to shield this up. Unfortunately, it's CMP, so I believe our switch clocks are now back in alignment, which is really, really rough. So all that work to get the switch timers off kilter, but we are able to catch onto Empoleon, so we're able to get those switch clocks off again, which is very helpful. And my opponent actually brings in Deoxys here. So their team, they have Ferrothorn, and then they have 2 anti-flyers. And considering we're running 2 flyers, this is going to be a very, very difficult team for us. We are able to get shields with the Hydro Cannons. Charge move coming through. At this point, I just have to let this go. Psycho Boost, it's resisted, but it does lower their attack, and I'm able to come in with the Altaria and either pressure a shield or get rid of this anti-flyer. They actually shield, they're staying in quite a bit, and then they switch out into a Azumarill. I do have a shield, so we are going to shield this up. And at this point, I need to overfarm a ton of energy in this matchup. We are going to go straight for the Brave Bird, as this is going to be enough to take out the Azumarill. And Deoxys comes in. We're able to catch onto Altaria. Absolutely huge. They bring the Ferrothorn back in, and we're able to go for the Sky Attack. So just a very heads up play there, recognizing they were coming back in with energy. Able to catch it. Mirror Shot gets us low. We come in with the Staraptor. And at this point, since we know they have Mirror Shot, we're going to be able to farm up a ton of energy here. Because Mirror Shot is not something we're worried about. Deoxys comes out. I throw the Close Combat as it's the cheapest charge move I have, and it is going to be enough to take them out. Ferrothorn comes back. As you can see, I was spamming that switch button trying to switch. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Mirror Shot able to take me out, but Altaria able to farm down and take the win. So an incredibly hectic game, a terrible lead, but we were able to overcome. Galvantula, another really, really rough lead for us. We do try and catch onto our Altaria. Unfortunately, no such luck. We are going to be going straight for the Sky Attack here, and this will be doing a solid chunk of damage if it connects. Unfortunately, Polly does shield. I have to call the bait here. I call it Weather Ball. We can now win this matchup. Since we successfully called that they were baiting there, now we're going to shield up what's probably a Blizzard. The only reason they would switch in Politoed into Altaria is if they had Blizzard. So we are going to shield that up. We're able to land a Sky Attack. They come back in with Galvantula. I'm going to let this go at this point. It's a lunge, and my opponent concedes the match. My guess is just because I refuse to shield. But anyways, I had quite a bit of fun with Staraptor. I'll be honest, the 30-second switch timer wasn't my most favorite thing ever, but using Staraptor made it somewhat better, and Staraptor with the Close Combat and Brave Bird can be absolutely devastating either on the safe swap or as a closer. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. The growth on the channel has been absolutely insane, so thank you guys so very much. And a special thank you to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys give does help keep the channel going, so I appreciate y'all so very much, and I will see you in the next one.